When people say slow metabolism, they usually mean easy weight gain, low energy, and stubborn fat. In real life, they do not mean some mysterious chemistry failure. Most often, it means the body has shifted into battery-saving mode after stress, chronic dieting, low movement, or muscle loss. In real science, slow metabolism means your resting energy burn is lower than expected, and that brings not only weight gain, but also a frustrating cycle: less energy, less movement, more cravings, and then even lower calorie burn. First, let's understand what slows it down. The most common cause is not disease. It is the combination of chronic dieting, too much sitting, and losing muscle. Your body is smarter than you think. When you eat too little for too long, it reacts like a phone on low battery. It lowers energy output, reduces spontaneous movement, and makes you feel more tired, so you move less without even noticing it. The first and most important cause is less muscle. If you do not use your muscles, the body starts getting rid of them because maintaining muscle costs energy. And muscle is one of your main calorie-burning engines because it keeps using energy even at rest. So less muscle means a smaller engine, and a smaller engine means fewer calories burned. The second major cause is too much sitting. Even if you exercise sometimes, long hours of sitting tell the body that energy demand is low. The body adapts to demand. If demand is low, it reduces output. That is why prolonged sitting can quietly drag metabolism down. Another strong cause is chronic aggressive dieting. When you stay in a hard calorie deficit too long, the body reads it as an energy crisis. It lowers calorie burn, lowers spontaneous movement, increases tiredness, and makes fat loss harder. Not because you are weak, but because your body is adapting correctly to survive. Lack of sleep also matters. Poor sleep signals stress and danger to the body. That raises stress hormones, reduces energy output, and can make you burn fewer calories. Aging matters too. After around age 30, people gradually lose muscle, and because muscle is such an important energy-burning tissue, metabolism slowly drops with time. There are also real medical causes. One of the most important is hypothyroidism, which means an underactive thyroid. Thyroid hormones act like a gas pedal for the body's energy use. When they are low, everything slows down, including metabolism. Some medications can also contribute. Antidepressants may increase hunger and reduce fullness in some people. Beta blockers, often used for high blood pressure, can reduce energy, exercise tolerance, and sympathetic drive. Corticosteroids can push the body toward fat storage, increase hunger, and cause fluid retention, especially around the abdomen. Insulin and some diabetes drugs can promote storage when levels are high. Antihistamines may reduce alertness, increase fatigue, and slightly increase appetite. And in women, menopause is also important. The key player here is estrogen. You can imagine estrogen like a manager that helps regulate energy use. When estrogen drops, resting metabolism can fall a bit, and at the same time, women often lose more muscle mass. So menopause can affect metabolism through both hormonal change and muscle loss. Now let's talk about how to increase metabolism in real life. The first and most important thing is building or protecting muscle. This does not mean bodybuilding. It means giving the body a reason to keep its calorie-burning engine. The best tool is resistance training 2 to 3 times per week. Pushing, pulling, squatting, using body weight machines or light weights, and gradually making it harder over time. Usually, you feel the benefit first not as visible size, but as better energy, better posture, and less fatigue. Muscle does not ruin your body. It protects your metabolism. The second major strategy is increasing daily movement, also called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is called NEAT. This means all the calories you burn outside formal exercise, walking, cleaning, standing, carrying bags, taking stairs, pacing during calls, even small movements during the day. This is your body's background movement budget, and it matters a lot. In real life, daily movement can make a huge difference in how many calories a person burns. So move more on purpose, walk more, get up more, stand during calls, take stairs, do household chores actively, and do not underestimate short activity blocks. Even 5 to 10 minute chunks count. The third powerful tool is a walk after meals. Even a light 10-minute walk after eating can help. It improves insulin sensitivity, helps control glucose spikes, and supports better calorie use. Timing matters. Starting roughly 10 to 20 minutes after a meal works especially well. The fourth important strategy is avoiding very strict dieting. Hard restriction pushes the body deeper into energy-saving mode. The smarter approach is a moderate calorie deficit, not punishment. That gives fat loss a chance without making the body slam the brakes too hard. Another strong trick is exercise snacks. These are short bursts like stair climbing, brief intervals, or small bouts of movement during the day. They help increase energy use, create a small afterburn effect, and keep the body out of prolonged low-power mode. If we talk about supplements, there are not many that directly increase metabolism strongly. Caffeine has some of the best data and can raise energy expenditure for a few hours. Green tea catechins plus caffeine and capsaicin may help a bit too. Protein and creatine can help more indirectly. Protein has a higher thermic effect of food, which means the body spends more energy digesting it. And finally, do not ignore deficiency correction. Iron deficiency, anemia, iodine deficiency, and selenium deficiency can all make the body function more slowly. So in some people, improving metabolism is not about a magic trick. It is about fixing what is missing.